What if I told you that the reason you keep losing your calm isn't because life is hard, but because no one ever taught you how to stay centered when it is? Think about that. We've all been thrown into situations that test our patience, push our limits, and break our peace. A careless comment, a missed opportunity, a disrespectful tone. And in a blink, we go from composed to chaotic. Not because we're weak, but because we've never been shown another way. We've been taught how to speak, how to succeed, how to impress, but never how to stay calm when the world doesn't play fair. And that's the trap. The world keeps pulling your strings because you keep reacting. You're stuck in a cycle where anything can set you off. Someone ignores you, you're furious. A plan changes, you spiral. A person disrespects you, you explode. And it's exhausting, isn't it, to feel like you're constantly defending your peace but never really owning it. It wears you down emotionally. It chips away at your confidence. And worst of all, it convinces you that being calm is some rare personality trait you just weren't born with. But that's a lie. Calmness is not luck. It's not passive. It's not weakness. It's a skill. And once you learn it, you'll never go back. Imagine walking into chaos and feeling nothing shake you. Imagine hearing criticism without letting it control your day. Imagine being surrounded by noise but still carrying silence inside. That kind of calm doesn't come from pretending nothing hurts. It comes from mastering what does. When you learn how to command your inner world, no one on the outside can take that power from you. And that's the reward. Because once you train this, you become the kind of person who can handle anything. You stop being emotionally hijacked by every minor storm. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand your value. You stop reacting. You start leading. Most people never get there. They live their entire lives ruled by moods, triggers, and impulses. But not you. You're here because something inside you is tired of being controlled. You're ready to reclaim your calm, to protect your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. Every time you lose your calm, you give away a piece of your control. But when you keep your calm, even in the heat, you rise above the noise. That's not just self-control, that's power. And you don't need permission to step into it. You just need to decide. This is more than a mindset. It's a muscle. And in the next few minutes, you're going to build it. You're going to learn exactly why you react, how to stop, and how to transform emotional chaos into clarity. By the end, you won't just understand calm, you'll become it. So stay with me. Your peace is not a maybe. It's a skill waiting to be mastered. And once you learn this, you'll never lose your calm again. The truth is, not everyone wants you calm. In fact, your calm threatens people who rely on your reaction to feel powerful. They provoke you because they know that once you're triggered, they own the room. The moment you react, you hand over control. You hand them your emotional energy, your time, your focus, and sometimes your dignity. Because in that instant of reaction, you're no longer thinking clearly. You're just surviving the moment, trying to defend, trying to prove, trying to protect what didn't need defending in the first place. And that's exactly how they win. You see, the world has trained you to be reactive. Society feeds off of outrage, off of impulsive emotions, off of people who act before they think. The more reactive you are, the easier you are to manipulate. The louder you get, the less people hear. The more unstable you appear, the less seriously you're taken. And that's the trap. Reaction disguises itself as power. But it's actually submission. It's surrendering your peace to every insult, every delay, every misstep. And if you don't learn how to break that pattern, you'll keep losing yourself in moments that were never worth your energy. Calm isn't just about keeping peace. It's about reclaiming power. When you're calm, you're unreadable. You're untouchable. People can try to shake you, but nothing moves you unless you allow it. That's intimidating to those who feed off your weakness. Your stillness makes them uncomfortable because it reminds them of their lack of control over you. And that's when you begin to lead the energy instead of absorbing it. That's when you walk into a room and change the tone without raising your voice. Not by force, but by presence. Your calm is your command. It's how you protect your mind from chaos. It's how you walk away without a scar from words meant to wound. It's how you remain grounded in truth while the world spins in confusion. It doesn't mean you're emotionless. It means you're emotionally intelligent. You understand that not every comment deserves a reaction. Not every challenge needs a response. Sometimes silence is your strategy. Sometimes walking away is your victory. Sometimes saying nothing is the loudest statement you can make. You were never meant to be tossed around by other people's chaos. You were meant to anchor your peace so deeply that even the worst storms can't pull it from you. You don't have to prove your strength by shouting louder. You prove it by remaining unshaken. You don't need to defend your worth every time someone tests it. Let your calm speak for you. Let your peace protect you. Let your restraint define you. Because once you master this, once you realize that calmness is your superpower, no one can take it from you. They may try to provoke you. They may try to test you. But nothing will move you unless you choose. And that's the ultimate freedom. Your reactions are not random. They are rehearsed. Every time you explode in anger, shut down in silence, or spiral into anxiety, you are following an invisible script written years ago. A script shaped by old wounds, unresolved pain, and unconscious patterns. You're not weak for feeling triggered. You're human. But once you become aware of that script, you have a choice. You can keep playing the same role, or you can rewrite it. Emotional freedom begins the moment you stop saying that's just how I am, and start asking, is this still serving me? You weren't born reactive. You were conditioned to be. You learned it in moments where you felt powerless. You learned it when staying calm didn't feel safe, when being loud was your only form of protection, when shutting down was the only way to survive. But you're not in survival anymore. You're not that child. You're not trapped in that past. You're here now, and you get to choose a new pattern. You get to decide that peace is your new identity. Not because life is easier, but because you're stronger. Triggers are not the problem. They're messengers. They show you where your power is still being held hostage. They reveal what needs healing, not hiding. The goal isn't to never feel emotion. The goal is to feel everything without losing yourself in the process. You can feel anger and still be calm. You can feel hurt and still respond with wisdom. You can feel fear and still move forward with clarity, because your emotions are visitors, not rulers. They don't define you unless you hand them the crown. This is why awareness is the foundation of unshakable calm. You can't change what you don't notice. But once you start paying attention, you begin to see the cracks in your reactions. You begin to catch yourself before the outburst. You begin to pause before the panic. And in that pause, you meet your power. That space between trigger and reaction, that tiny space, is where you get to choose a new outcome. And the more you choose peace, the stronger it becomes. Peace isn't passive. It's a muscle. And it grows through repetition. Your calm doesn't come from escaping the world. It comes from facing it with strength, from looking your emotions in the eye and saying, you don't control me anymore, from standing in the fire and refusing to let it consume you. That's real growth. That's real power. And it's available to you right now, not after you change the world around you, but after you change the world within you. So let this be the moment you stop reacting on autopilot. Let this be the moment you take your power back. You are not your past responses. You are the awareness that chooses again. And with every choice for calm, you're building a version of yourself that no storm can break. You cannot master your life until you master the ability to observe. Observation is the beginning of freedom. When you observe without reacting, you separate yourself from the chaos. You begin to see things as they are, not as your fears interpret them. Most people don't realize they're trapped in their emotions because they never step back long enough to watch what's really happening inside them. They become the anger, they become the panic, they become the pain. And once you become it, you can no longer control it. But when you observe it, you create space. And in that space, you breathe again. You are not your thoughts. You are not your triggers. You are the one watching all of it unfold. And that shift in awareness is the beginning of personal power. The moment you start watching yourself in real time, how you clench your jaw, how your heart races, how your voice tightens, you realize that you're not powerless. You're simply untrained. Emotional self-mastery is not about suppression. It's not about pretending nothing gets to you. It's about seeing it, understanding it, and then choosing not to be ruled by it. You can feel the fire without letting it burn you. Most people never get to this level of clarity because they've built their identity around reaction. They think being loud is strength. They think being offended is empowerment. But real strength is silent. It's the power to stay grounded when everything around you is trying to pull you down. It's the ability to watch someone provoke you and still say nothing. Not out of fear, but out of discipline. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to explain yourself to every voice that misunderstands you. Your calm is the loudest proof of your growth. Observation trains you to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. And every time you practice it, you weaken the old patterns. You stop feeding the chaos. You stop fueling the drama. You begin to feel what it's like to live above the noise instead of drowning in it. Your nervous system settles. Your confidence grows. Your decisions become clearer. This is how you become emotionally unshakable, not by force, but by awareness. Every time you choose observation over reaction, you take your power back. You show yourself that you don't need to be a puppet to every emotion. You prove that your mind is stronger than the moment. That's the difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's observation. It's the ability to pause, breathe, and witness what's happening before letting it define you. And once you've tasted that kind of self-control, you'll never settle for emotional chaos again. You'll realize that the highest form of power is the ability to remain calm while everything else begs for a reaction. And in that stillness, you'll find the clarity that changes everything. Calm is not what happens when everything is easy. Calm is what you build when nothing goes as planned and you choose not to fall apart. It is the steady presence you create in the middle of pressure. It is the mental clarity that rises when the noise around you is screaming for chaos. This kind of calm is forged in discipline. It is earned, not inherited, and the only way to earn it is through repetition, moment after moment of choosing not to be consumed by the emotion, but to stand inside it and remain anchored. This isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about mastering how you express it. Anyone can raise their voice, anyone can slam a door, walk out, or let the weight of a moment control them. That takes no strength, but it takes courage to pause. It takes strength to soften your body when everything is tense. It takes emotional intelligence to recognize that just because something feels urgent doesn't mean it deserves an immediate reaction. Calm people are not calm because life is kind. They are calm because they train for the chaos, and they no longer allow circumstances to dictate their state. You teach the world how to treat you by how you carry yourself in tension. When you react with rage, you send a message that you are easy to manipulate. When you react with panic, you tell the world that it can easily shake you. But when you respond with calm certainty, you shift the power. You communicate that your peace is not negotiable, that no matter the noise, you know who you are, that no matter the pressure, you know how to breathe through it. Calm is not a mood, it is a leadership skill. The person who stays calm leads. In conversations, in crisis, in conflict, the calm one holds the energy. The calm one decides the direction. Because the calm one isn't being pulled by every emotional wave. They've anchored deep beneath the surface, and that's where your strength lives. Not in your reaction, but in your stillness. When you choose calm, you don't become passive. You become powerful. You step into the version of yourself that's no longer controlled by old habits. You stop repeating emotional patterns that drain your energy. You become intentional. You choose words carefully. You move with clarity. And you begin to feel a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't need approval or validation, just presence. This level of control doesn't just transform your mind, it transforms your relationships, your decisions, your future. Because a calm mind sees opportunity where a reactive mind only sees threat. A calm heart can love deeply without losing itself. A calm spirit doesn't chase validation, it attracts respect. And that begins with you. Your ability to stay calm is not a personality trait. It's a personal decision. Make it again and again until it becomes who you are. Calm is the decision to protect your energy. It is the awareness that not every situation deserves access to your inner world. When you stay calm, you are no longer a slave to every disruption that crosses your path. You are no longer easily swayed by noise, pressure, or manipulation. You rise above it not because you're avoiding the world, but because you're mastering how you respond to it. The most powerful people are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones who know exactly when to speak, and when silence carries more strength than words ever could. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to defend yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Your value isn't determined by how loudly you argue your worth. It's defined by the stillness you choose when others want chaos. When you're calm, you're in command. You can think clearly. You can make strong decisions. You can walk away from toxic energy without a second thought. Because you know your peace is more valuable than winning any temporary battle of egos. There will always be moments that tempt you to lose yourself, moments of disrespect, of pressure, of uncertainty. But the test isn't what happens. The test is how you handle it. You don't become powerful by dominating others. You become powerful by refusing to be dominated by your own impulses. Every time you choose to respond instead of react, you're reinforcing your emotional strength. You're proving that your mind is disciplined, that your mood is not controlled by what's happening outside of you, that your calm is not up for negotiation. When you master calm, you create space between stimulus and reaction, and in that space you unlock your power, the ability to choose, the ability to redirect, the ability to stay grounded in what matters, even when everything around you is trying to pull you off center. Most people give up that space without realizing it. They let someone's opinion, someone's tone, someone's energy control their day. But you are not most people. You are not here to live in reaction. You are here to live in mastery. Calm doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've matured. It means you've stopped giving everything access to your peace. It means you've learned that most situations are not worth the cost of your inner stability. And once you've felt the power of remaining calm when everything inside you wants to explode, you'll never go back. You'll realize how much stronger you are when you don't let the moment own you. You'll remember that silence is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is restraint. It is control. You didn't come this far to let minor things break you. You've been through too much to be easily shaken. Protect your peace like your life depends on it, because the quality of your life absolutely does. Keep your calm. Guard it fiercely. It is your greatest strength. Calm is built when you stop fighting everything you cannot control. It begins the moment you release the illusion that you must manage other people's moods, fix their opinions, or force outcomes that are not aligned with you. The more you try to bend life to your will, the more exhausted you become. But the moment you let go of what you cannot change and choose to control what you can, your thoughts, your breath, your energy, you step into a different frequency of power. It's no longer about conquering the world. It's about mastering yourself within it. You don't need to chase peace. You need to remove what interrupts it. That means detaching from the unnecessary battles. That means no longer reacting to words spoken from someone else's wound. That means trusting your strength enough to not take everything personally. When someone is unkind, it reflects their internal chaos, not your worth. When life throws delays, it's not punishment, it's redirection. And when things fall apart, it may be the very thing making room for something greater to rise. Calm teaches you to stop panicking at the first sign of discomfort and start anchoring yourself in resilience. It takes real mental discipline to stay centered when nothing makes sense, to keep your inner voice grounded while the outer world spirals. But this is where your evolution begins, in the discomfort, in the pressure, in the moments where your emotions scream for chaos and you choose presence instead. That is the practice. Every breath you take in awareness is a message to your nervous system. I am safe. I am steady. I am not at the mercy of the storm. I am the calm inside it. Don't confuse calm with weakness. Calm is forged through fire. It is what emerges when you've walked through stress, heartbreak, disappointment, and instead of crumbling, you built a new layer of strength. A strength that doesn't shout. A strength that doesn't seek validation. A strength that speaks in quiet confidence. You don't need to prove your power. You need to embody it. And the calmest person in the room is often the one with the most control, not over others, but over themselves. The more you stay grounded, the less reactive you become. You stop giving energy to what drains you. You stop defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop shrinking to make others feel more comfortable. Calm makes space for clarity, and with clarity comes a deeper connection to your values, your voice, your purpose. You stop performing. You start living in alignment. Protect your calm like a sacred boundary. Let it be the filter through which you make every decision, respond to every situation, and build every relationship. Because when you lead with calm, you lead with power. Not the kind that dominates others, but the kind that commands your own life. And that, above all else, is what real peace looks like. It's not a place you find. It's a standard you uphold. Relentlessly, consistently, no matter what. Calm is a skill that sharpens with repetition. You must train it like a muscle. Every difficult conversation is a set. Every delayed response is a rep. Every moment you pause instead of explode is practice. And the more you do it, the stronger you become. Not stronger in the way the world usually sees it. Not louder, not more aggressive, not more dominant, but internally unshakable. That quiet, unwavering presence that doesn't need to be seen to be felt. That's what you're building. A version of yourself so centered, so clear, that no chaos can penetrate it unless you allow it. You weren't born to be reactive. You were born to rise above. Life will constantly offer you invitations to lose your peace, but every invitation declined is a declaration of your self-mastery. You're not obligated to answer anger with anger. You're not required to mirror disrespect. You don't owe anyone your energy just because they demand it. The moment you realize that your calm is your currency, you start spending it wisely. You begin to guard your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. A calm mind makes sharper decisions. A calm heart builds stronger connections. A calm presence attracts the respect that chaos never will. You must understand that inner stillness is not the absence of emotion, it's the regulation of it. You will feel anger, you will feel frustration, you will feel fear, but they don't have to drive you. You can acknowledge their presence without letting them hijack your direction. That's what emotional intelligence looks like. The ability to feel fully while choosing consciously. That's what sets apart those who react from those who lead. Because leadership, true leadership, always starts with self-leadership. And that begins in the space between stimulus and response. Your calm is your superpower because it cannot be faked. People feel it. They trust it. They follow it. When everything around you is unstable, your groundedness becomes a lighthouse. And when you carry that kind of energy, you don't need to chase outcomes. You become the magnet. You become the stabilizer. You become the one people count on. Not because you control everything, but because you've mastered how you control yourself through everything. There is nothing soft about restraint. There is nothing weak about emotional control. The real strength is in the silence you choose when noise would be easier. The real power is in the response you withhold when reaction begs to be released. That's discipline, that's ownership, and that's what builds an unbreakable core. Every time you choose calm, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing to stay rooted in your values, not swayed by your surroundings. You're choosing growth over comfort, long-term strength over short-term release. You're choosing the path of self-respect. And once you learn to live from that space, you won't just survive the storms. You'll become the calm that walks through them untouched. The power to remain calm is the power to reclaim your life from chaos. Every time you lose your calm, you hand your control to forces outside of yourself, opinions, judgments, events, and emotions that do not serve your growth. This transfer of power leaves you vulnerable, reactive, and exhausted. But when you choose calm, you break that cycle. You take your power back. You create a shield that filters out negativity and protects your well-being. This is not passive. It is the most active form of self-respect. To stand firm in calmness means you are actively choosing what to accept and what to reject in your mental and emotional space. This choice requires courage. Courage to say no to drama, to conflict, to distraction. Courage to trust your inner voice instead of external noise. Courage to be misunderstood rather than compromised. But this courage is built on the understanding that your peace is not negotiable. It is your foundation. Without it, everything else crumbles. Your dreams, your relationships, your sense of self. With it, you become unstoppable. Because peace creates clarity. Clarity leads to focus. Focus drives action. And action moves mountains. You will never find calm if you expect life to be perfect or fair. Calm is not about avoiding problems. It's about facing them with steady eyes and an unshakable heart. It's about acknowledging reality without letting it break you. You don't become calm by waiting for the storm to pass. You become calm by learning to dance in the rain. That dance is your mastery. Your ability to stay composed when chaos rages around you shows that you are the author of your own emotional state, not a victim of circumstance. To live in calmness is to live with intention. It means you understand the immense value of your mental and emotional energy. You protect it fiercely because you know it fuels your creativity, your problem-solving, and your relationships. You stop wasting it on things that don't matter or people who drain you. Instead, you invest it in what aligns with your goals and values. This mindset shift transforms every challenge into an opportunity for growth and every setback into a lesson in resilience. Your calm is contagious. When you embody it, you inspire those around you to find their own peace. You become a beacon of stability in uncertain times. People will naturally gravitate toward your presence because it offers something rare, a space where they can breathe, think clearly, and be themselves without fear of judgment. You don't have to force respect or control situations. Your calm commands it effortlessly. Embrace this power with humility. Calm is not arrogance or indifference. It is quiet strength grounded in self-awareness. It is the confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for, no matter what storms come your way. It is the unwavering belief that no matter how fierce the world becomes, you will remain steady, rooted, and unbreakable. This is the secret to a life lived fully and freely, one where your peace is the most valuable possession you guard and the most powerful force you wield. True calm is not a destination you reach, it is a practice you cultivate daily. It demands awareness, the kind that catches you before you react. It requires patience to sit with discomfort without surrendering to it. It calls for discipline to choose your response rather than allowing impulses to drive you. This level of self-mastery does not come from luck or chance. It is built through consistent effort, moment by moment. Each time you pause, breathe, and decide to respond with calmness instead of fury or fear, you are strengthening this muscle inside you. This is the ultimate form of courage, to face every challenge with a steady mind and a peaceful heart. Understand this, your mind is a powerful tool, but it can be your greatest ally or your fiercest enemy. When you let negative thoughts take control, they escalate your stress and rob you of peace. But when you learn to observe your thoughts without judgment and redirect them toward empowerment, you reclaim your calm. This means catching the spiral before it drags you down, recognizing when fear or anger begins to rise and consciously shifting your focus. You become the guardian of your mental space, no longer a prisoner to anxiety or frustration, but a commander who steers the mind back to calm waters. This practice rewires your brain. Research shows that repeated calm responses reduce the intensity of stress reactions over time. The more you practice presence and self-control, the more your nervous system learns to relax even in tough situations. You change your biology by changing your mindset. This is how calm becomes not just a state, but a new default. You move through life with more ease, more clarity, and more confidence. This is how you stop losing your calm, no matter what happens around you. It also means setting boundaries, not just with others, but within yourself. You must know your limits and honor them fiercely. Saying no to unnecessary drama, to toxic relationships, to the relentless pressure of perfection is not selfish, it is self-preservation. Every boundary you set is a declaration that your peace matters more than temporary discomfort or approval from others. Boundaries protect your energy and create space for healing and growth. Without them, calm remains fragile, easily shattered by the chaos around you. Your journey toward unshakable calm also requires forgiveness of yourself and others. Holding on to grudges and regrets is like carrying a weight that drags your spirit down. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrongs, it is about freeing yourself from their grip. When you forgive, you release the emotional charge that disturbs your peace. You reclaim your power to choose how you feel. This act of letting go is one of the strongest steps you can take toward inner calm. Ultimately, learning to never lose your calm is about becoming the master of your internal world. It means refusing to give your power away to external chaos. It means choosing peace over panic, control over chaos, and presence over distraction. This path transforms not only how you feel but how you live. Calm becomes your foundation, your shield, and your greatest strength. And once you claim it fully, you will never need to search for it outside yourself again. Your calm is born from clarity. When your mind is clear, your emotions settle and decisions become effortless. Clarity strips away the noise, the endless chatter of doubt, fear, and confusion that clouds your judgment. It gives you a sharp edge, a focused lens through which to see your path forward. Without clarity, calm is impossible. Your mind becomes a battlefield where emotions clash and overwhelm you. But with clarity, you reclaim the battlefield. You become the commander who directs every thought and feeling toward your highest good. To cultivate this clarity, you must learn to quiet your mind intentionally. This means carving out moments in your day to step back, breathe deeply, and simply be present. In these moments, you observe your thoughts without attachment. You watch them pass like clouds, neither resisting nor clinging. This simple practice rewires your brain, strengthening the pathways that support calm and resilience. You train yourself to resist the pull of reactive thinking. Instead, you respond from a place of grounded awareness. Clarity also requires truthfulness with yourself. It means facing your fears, insecurities, and weaknesses without judgment or denial. It means asking yourself the hard questions and accepting the honest answers. This self-honesty may be uncomfortable at first, but it's the foundation of genuine growth. When you are honest with yourself, you eliminate the confusion that feeds anxiety and frustration. You stop living in denial and start living with purpose. This honesty empowers you to make choices aligned with your values, not your fears. You must also learn to let go of what you cannot control. The relentless need to control outcomes is a trap that steals your peace. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of worry can change that. Acceptance is not resignation. It is a courageous act of surrender that frees your mind from endless struggle. When you accept what you cannot change, you conserve your energy for what truly matters: your actions, your mindset, and your attitude. This shift from resistance to acceptance is a powerful catalyst for calm. Every decision to focus on what you can control reinforces your calm. It grounds you in reality, reminding you that your power lies not in changing the world, but in mastering your response to it. This mastery transforms stress into strength and pressure into opportunity. Your calm becomes an anchor, holding you steady when chaos threatens to pull you under. You begin to realize that calm is not a passive state. It is your most active and effective form of power. This clarity also sharpens your sense of priorities. When you know what truly matters, distractions lose their grip. You stop wasting time and energy on trivial concerns and focus on what fuels your growth and fulfillment. This focus deepens your calm because it reduces overwhelm. You simplify your life by cutting out what is unnecessary and cultivating what is essential. Calm thrives in simplicity. The clearer your purpose, the easier it is to maintain your peace amidst life's storms. In the end, clarity and calm are inseparable. They feed each other in a continuous cycle that builds your inner fortress stronger every day. When your mind is clear, your heart is calm. When your heart is calm, your decisions are clear. This harmony is the secret to never losing your calm again. It is a powerful reminder that peace is not a fleeting feeling but a state you create and nurture through conscious choice. This choice is always within your reach, waiting for you to claim it fully. Calm is not simply the absence of noise or chaos. It is the presence of mastery over your own mind. True calm arises when you own your reactions, refusing to let external events dictate your inner state. This ownership is a radical act of self-respect. When you recognize that every feeling, every impulse, is within your control, you claim a power few ever realize they have. This power doesn't come from ignoring difficulties but from engaging with them on your terms. It is the choice to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, to stand firm instead of being swept away. This is where your calm is born, at the crossroads of choice and discipline. Discipline is the bridge that connects your intentions to your actions. Without it, calm remains a fragile wish. Discipline teaches you to train your mind like a muscle. It compels you to return to your center again and again, no matter how loud the storm around you. The first step in building this discipline is commitment, a deep, unwavering decision to never let chaos rule you again. This commitment becomes your anchor, pulling you back when distractions threaten to overwhelm. It is what allows you to rise above momentary frustration and reclaim your peace repeatedly. Every time you practice restraint, every time you pause before responding, you strengthen your calm. These small victories accumulate, transforming your nervous system and building resilience. Your brain learns that peace is not a luxury but a necessity. It becomes easier to access calm, even in the most trying moments. This process is like forging steel. Repeated heat and pressure shape your inner strength until it becomes unbreakable. Your calm is not a rare gift, but a skill you develop through consistent effort and conscious choice. This disciplined calm changes how you perceive challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, you begin to view them as opportunities to practice control and growth. This shift in perspective releases fear and frustration, replacing them with confidence and clarity. You become less reactive and more proactive. Instead of spiraling into panic or anger, you assess situations with a clear mind and respond with precision. This calm precision is your superpower. It allows you to navigate life's complexities without losing yourself. In this state, distractions lose their grip. Noise fades into the background. You no longer waste energy on things that don't serve you. Instead, you conserve your strength for what truly matters: your goals, your well-being, your values. Your calm becomes a filter that screens out chaos and preserves your focus. This focus fuels your progress and protects your peace, creating a cycle of positive momentum that propels you forward. Remember, discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Every moment you choose calm over chaos, you reinforce your inner power. Every breath you take with intention adds to your resilience. Calm is a practice, a daily commitment, and an unshakable foundation. When you cultivate this discipline, you build a fortress of peace that no external storm can breach. Your calm becomes your greatest ally in the pursuit of a fulfilling, empowered life. This is your truth, waiting to be embraced fully. Your emotions are powerful signals, not enemies to be silenced. When you learn to recognize them clearly without being overwhelmed, you unlock a vital source of calm. Emotional awareness is the foundation of emotional control. It begins with accepting every feeling as valid, even those that seem uncomfortable or intense. Resisting or denying emotions only gives them more power, but when you face them honestly, you take away their grip. You shift from being a victim of your feelings to becoming their master. This mastery requires a deep level of self-awareness. It means tuning into the subtle shifts inside you before emotions explode into chaos. You notice the tightening in your chest, the quickening of your breath, the restless energy building beneath the surface. When you catch these early signs, you gain the priceless gift of choice. You can decide how to respond instead of being swept away by instinct. This pause, this moment of conscious awareness, is where your calm begins to crystallize. Learning to sit with your emotions without judgment is a radical act of courage. It means acknowledging your vulnerability without shame. This acceptance creates space for emotions to flow naturally, without building pressure. Like water in a river, emotions that move freely lose their destructive force. They inform and guide you instead of controlling you. This emotional flow cultivates resilience because you no longer fear your feelings. You trust them to pass, knowing they do not define you. Another key to this emotional calm is the practice of grounding yourself in the present moment. Anxiety and anger often stem from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Your mind races, creating scenarios that fuel distress. Grounding pulls you back to the here and now, the only place where you have real control. Simple techniques like focusing on your breath, feeling your feet on the ground, or noticing the sensations around you anchor you firmly in reality. This anchor calms the swirling storm of emotions and centers your mind. With consistent practice, emotional awareness rewires your brain. You build new neural pathways that favor calm and rational response over reactivity. This rewiring strengthens your capacity to stay composed no matter what life throws at you. You become like a steady flame that burns bright and true, unaffected by gusts of wind. This flame is your inner calm, steady, warm, and powerful. Remember, emotional mastery is not about suppressing how you feel or pretending everything is okay. It's about embracing your full humanity while choosing peace over chaos. It is a skill you develop with patience and commitment. Each moment you respond with awareness rather than reaction. You reinforce your calm. Every breath you take with intention deepens your control. This practice transforms emotional turbulence into a source of strength and clarity, guiding you toward a life where calm is not a fleeting escape but your natural state of being. This is the power waiting for you to claim. The way you speak to yourself in moments of stress shapes the very fabric of your inner calm. Your inner dialogue has the power to ignite chaos or restore peace in an instant. When the mind floods with negativity, doubt, or panic, your calm crumbles. But when you learn to shift this internal conversation, you transform the battlefield into a sanctuary. This shift is not about denying reality or ignoring problems. It's about choosing empowering language that anchors you rather than breaks you apart. Negative self-talk is a silent enemy that feeds fear and magnifies anxiety. It traps you in loops of worry and self-doubt, convincing you that you are powerless and overwhelmed. These harsh inner words feel like truths, but they are only stories your mind tells, a narrative that can be rewritten. By recognizing these destructive patterns, you gain the ability to interrupt them. This interruption is your first act of reclaiming control. It stops the downward spiral before it takes hold. Replacing negative talk with supportive, truthful statements builds a foundation for calm that cannot be shaken. When faced with challenges, remind yourself that you have survived every hardship so far. Tell yourself that you are capable of handling what comes next. Affirm your strengths and your resilience in simple, clear phrases. This practice rewires your brain to expect calm and confidence instead of chaos and fear. Your mind begins to seek out solutions instead of fixating on problems. The power of self-compassion in this process cannot be overstated. Treating yourself with kindness, especially in moments of struggle, creates a safe inner environment where calm can flourish. When you catch yourself in a negative thought, respond as you would to a friend, with patience, understanding, and encouragement. This compassionate voice soothes the nervous system and reduces emotional intensity. It breaks the cycle of stress and opens space for thoughtful, calm action. Breathing deeply and deliberately works hand in hand with positive self-talk to regulate your state. The mind and body are inseparable. When your breath slows, your heart rate drops, and your muscles relax, your mind follows. Intentionally shifting your breath signals safety to your brain, reducing the fight-or-flight response that fuels agitation. This combination of mental reassurance and physical calm creates a powerful feedback loop, strengthening your ability to stay composed under pressure. Over time, this new inner dialogue becomes automatic. Your mind learns to default to calm, positive affirmations instead of panic. This rewiring is a form of mental training, a daily workout for your emotional resilience. You will notice that stressful situations lose their grip faster, and your reactions become measured and intentional. Your calm is no longer fragile, but a durable, ever-present force. Changing how you speak to yourself is an act of reclaiming your power. It is choosing to be your own strongest ally when chaos threatens. This mental transformation is a cornerstone of lasting calm. It enables you to meet life's storms with courage, clarity, and unwavering peace. This is the voice inside you waiting to rise, strong, calm, and unbreakable. The space between your thoughts holds a secret power few ever discover. It is in these brief pauses, these moments of stillness within the storm, that true calm is born. Often we rush to fill silence with noise, reaction, or judgment. But when you learn to embrace the pause, to let the space exist without immediate response, you step into control. This quiet gap is your refuge, your anchor, the place where you can catch your breath and regain clarity before the chaos pulls you under. Your brain is wired to seek immediate answers, to react swiftly to threats, real or imagined. This survival mechanism was essential long ago, but often works against us now, triggering knee-jerk reactions that escalate stress and anxiety. By consciously pausing, you interrupt this automatic response. You create a break in the cycle of reaction and escalation. This break is an invitation to choose how you respond rather than be controlled by the moment. The power of choice is your greatest weapon in preserving calm. Within this pause, you activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for reasoning, decision-making, and emotional regulation. When you rush, this area shuts down and the impulsive, emotional parts take over. But the pause brings your higher brain back online. You access clarity, perspective, and calm. This neurological reset gives you space to breathe, to assess, and to respond with intention rather than impulse. The pause transforms turmoil into opportunity. Learning to extend this pause requires practice and patience. Start by becoming aware of the moments just before you react. Notice the sensations in your body, the tightening chest, the quickening breath, the rising tension. These signals are your invitation to pause. Take even a few seconds to breathe deeply, grounding yourself in the present moment. This simple act slows the racing mind and signals safety to your nervous system. It gives you the power to respond thoughtfully. The pause also cultivates emotional resilience. When you allow space between stimulus and response, you no longer feel at the mercy of external events or internal chaos. You reclaim your sense of self and control. Over time, this strengthens your confidence in handling stress. You learn that no matter how intense the pressure, you can create a moment of calm. This resilience becomes a shield against overwhelm and burnout. Moreover, the pause deepens your self-awareness. You begin to recognize patterns of thought and behavior that disrupt your peace. You see how old fears and conditioning trigger disproportionate reactions. With this awareness, you gain the power to break free from these cycles. The pause becomes a tool for transformation, helping you rewrite your response patterns to stress and adversity. By embracing the power of the pause, you cultivate a calm mind that is steady and unshakable. You develop the ability to face life's challenges with clarity and grace. The pause is not avoidance or weakness, it is strength. It is the conscious choice to master your mind rather than be mastered by it. This mastery is the foundation of lasting calm, the key to living fully and fearlessly in any moment. The silence between your thoughts is where your calm begins, and it is always within your reach. Calm is not simply the absence of noise or chaos, it is a skill cultivated through mastery of your inner world. The loudest battles often rage silently inside your mind. How you choose to engage with these battles determines whether you remain anchored or swept away by the tide of emotion. Understanding that calm is a deliberate practice, not an accidental state, shifts everything. It empowers you to reclaim control, even when the external world feels out of control. Your thoughts have immense power. They shape your reality, fuel your emotions, and direct your actions. When thoughts spiral out of control, panic and anger become the default. The key to preserving calm lies in how you manage these thoughts. You must learn to observe them without judgment, as if watching clouds pass by without clinging to any one shape. This detachment weakens their grip and prevents emotional overwhelm. By practicing this mental distance, you gain freedom from the tyranny of racing thoughts. Deep within your brain, the amygdala triggers fight, flight, or freeze responses when it perceives danger. These reactions are automatic, but awareness interrupts the cycle. The moment you notice your mind rushing toward fear or frustration, you activate a conscious choice to redirect your focus. Instead of fueling the stress, you pause and shift attention to something grounding, your breath, your senses, or a simple affirmation of safety. This shift quiets the alarm system in your brain and restores calm. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you reinforce new neural pathways. This rewiring strengthens your brain's ability to remain composed under pressure. It is like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your calm becomes. This neurological change is not temporary. It rewires how you respond to stress at the core level. You move from reacting automatically to responding intentionally. This transformation is the foundation for lasting peace in a noisy world. Calm also requires compassion for yourself. Harsh self-criticism fuels anxiety and tension. When you learn to speak kindly to your own mind, you create a safe space where calm can flourish. This inner kindness reduces the intensity of emotional reactions. It invites patience and understanding, allowing you to face challenges without being overwhelmed by self-judgment. Your internal dialogue becomes an ally, not an enemy. The pursuit of calm is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when frustration or fear arise. This is natural. What matters is your commitment to return to calm, again and again. Each return builds resilience and confidence. You prove to yourself that calm is not fragile or fleeting. It is a strength that grows with practice. Imagine living each day with a calm mind that navigates stress effortlessly. This state is achievable, but it requires you to become the master of your own mind. The power lies within your ability to choose where you place your attention. Calm is your choice, your refuge, and your strength. Embracing this truth transforms every moment of tension into an opportunity to rise above and claim peace. The path to never losing your calm again begins with this simple but profound awareness. Your mind is yours to command. Every moment of your life is shaped by the energy you bring to it. When you are calm, your presence shifts everything around you. Calm is contagious. It's a magnetic force that draws clarity into chaos, order into confusion, and peace into turmoil. This power is not granted by circumstance but forged within. The ability to maintain calm when everything seems to be falling apart is the greatest form of strength. It shows mastery over your mind and your emotions, and mastery creates freedom. Freedom from fear, from anger, from stress. Freedom to choose your response and live fully on your own terms. Imagine the immense relief that comes when your mind no longer races uncontrollably, no longer trapped by worries about what might go wrong or haunted by memories of past mistakes. Calmness brings a profound clarity that allows you to see solutions where before you saw only problems. It gives you the courage to face adversity without trembling, the patience to endure hardship without breaking. This clarity is your most powerful weapon. It transforms overwhelming moments into stepping stones toward growth. You must understand that calm is not the absence of emotion, it is the presence of control. To never lose your calm again, you must learn to acknowledge emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Feel deeply but respond wisely. Anger, fear, frustration, these are natural, but they do not have to rule you. When you separate your identity from your emotions, you create a space where choice exists. In this space, you find power. Power to pause, to breathe, to redirect your thoughts towards strength rather than surrender. Your breath is the most accessible tool to anchor yourself in calm. When anxiety rises, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, feeding the panic. But by intentionally slowing and deepening your breath, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural relaxation response. This simple act interrupts the cycle of stress. It grounds you instantly, reminding your brain that you are safe in this moment. Harnessing your breath reconnects you to your body and restores balance. It is a tangible practice that brings the abstract idea of calm into your reality. Cultivating calm also means embracing patience with yourself. Change does not happen overnight. Your mind is wired to resist discomfort, so calm requires consistent, deliberate effort. Each time you notice tension creeping in, and you choose to return to calm, you build resilience. This resilience becomes a shield, protecting you from future storms. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to maintain composure, even under intense pressure. Calm grows into a habit that defines your very way of being. The path to lasting calm is paved with small daily choices. Choosing awareness over autopilot, choosing presence over distraction, choosing peace over chaos. These choices might seem insignificant at first, but they accumulate into profound transformation. Your life begins to reflect the serenity you cultivate within. You no longer react impulsively or let emotions hijack your decisions. Instead, you respond with intention, clarity, and unwavering calm. This is the power you can claim today. A calm mind is not just a luxury. It is your birthright and your tool for creating the life you deserve. When you hold this power, no external force can shake you. Calm is your foundation. It is your strength. It is your freedom. Take hold of it and never let it go.